the girl reached her hand into the seawater. Unexpectedly, something eerie happened. Countless small fish, as if summoned, all swam toward the girl. The greedy fishermen who witnessed this scene had grown accustomed to it. Every time they brought the girl out to sea for fishing, they would always return with a full catch. The girl's special ability fed the insatiably greedy residents of the small island. Moreover, they also coveted the girl's other abilities. Every morning, a long line would form at the girl's front door, because anyone who came into contact with the girl could be healed by her. Even wounds could be mended. The local residents regarded the girl as a divine being. She allowed the people on the island to live wealthy lives without fear of disease. However, as time passed, this peaceful village was exposed for the islanders' selfishness and greed due to losing Annie's special abilities, leading the island toward destruction. No one knew why Annie's special abilities disappeared. One day suddenly, she could no longer use her powers to heal the residents. The fishermen's catches at sea became pitifully few. After a week like this, the local residents couldn't bear it any longer and held a residents' committee meeting overnight. They felt anxious and fearful about their future lives. The next morning, they brought gifts to comfort Annie. They prayed that Annie would quickly recover her abilities and hoped to restore their former prosperity. That evening, Lisa was comforting Annie to sleep when she inadvertently discovered that a wound on her own body was rapidly healing. Excited, she quickly called her husband over. To their surprise, her husband also discovered that a knife scar on his hand was rapidly healing too. The couple immediately realized that Annie's special abilities had returned. Lisa immediately wanted to bring Aunt May to have Annie heal her, because Aunt May suffered from dementia. Without Annie's healing these past few days, her condition had been getting worse. However, her husband Nick stopped her, because Nick knew that once Aunt May regained her mental clarity, she would tell everyone about it. Then all the island residents would once again exploit Annie's abilities. But his wife couldn't bear to leave it alone. At midnight, she still brought Aunt May to their home. In the blink of an eye, Aunt May's dementia was cured. Shortly after, the fishermen came to Lisa's house to complain. Their fishing results were dismal. It turned out that after Aunt May regained her mental clarity, she had still leaked the news about Annie's recovered abilities. She knew that the current Annie could only use her powers while sleeping. Aunt May actually voiced a very selfish thought, and then handed Nick a bottle of sleeping pills, asking Nick to secretly put Annie into a deep sleep. This way, everyone on the island could continue to enjoy the blessing of her abilities. Initially, Nick refused, but his wife kept fanning the flames, so Nick eventually agreed to this matter. That night, Lisa secretly crushed the sleeping pills into powder and mixed them into Annie's water cup. When Annie had completely fallen into a deep sleep, she lifted Annie onto a stretcher and followed the other residents to bring her to the seaside. After the fishermen had set up their nets in the sea, she immediately carried Annie and walked toward the ocean.